I sit here at the end of most nights and I prepare for the next day. And I'm going to tell you why in a little bit that is. Now, are you wondering what the life and schedule of a professional developer looks like? Come with me as I show you what a day looks like down to the last minute. Now, this has taken me years to figure out the best routine for myself, so I hope you take something from it. And ultimately, if you are wanting to know more about being a software engineer, then I encourage you to reach out. I've created the Coding Career Fast Lane to help you accelerate your career wherever you're at in the process, even if you just have questions to see if this is right for you. All right, to start my day off, I get up most mornings around 7 o'clock. I've always thought about getting up earlier, but at the same time, I stay up late enough to where I just don't see the benefit for me. So I get up right around 7. And I instantly do my morning routine. And my morning routine I've tried to keep simpler over the years. Right now it consists of push-ups, making the bed, weighing myself, and not looking at my phone before I actually try to leave for work. Now once all that's done, I'm prepared, I got everything, I'm heading out the door. I go to a workout around 8 o'clock. I am generally working on either the legs, back, or arms. Those are the main three groups I really pay attention to. I like to play a lot of basketball, and those areas really help there. Now around 9 a.m. is when I get to work, and this is where the part you want to know about is where I start my day off with a deep block of work, or what's called deep work. I've recommended the book by Cal Newport called Deep Work before. It's worth checking out. Now, what is deep work? Well, deep work is a block of 2 to 3 hours of your time, distraction free from anything else. And so from 9 to 12, I have this block and I try to accomplish the grind type of work. The work where you're doing it by yourself. The work where it's all about you putting your head into the code and just coding up as fast as you can, as efficient as you can, and as much as you can. Now, ultimately, I try not to do pair programming in this time frame. I try to save that for the afternoons. But it does happen sometimes where I need to work with somebody on a specific task because they have more knowledge than me. But generally, this is the time where I'm doing this deep work. So when we talk about what does it look like inside of deep work, it's generally me Googling, coding, trial and error, writing test cases, validating it works, updating the story, and then moving on to the next one and doing it all over again. That's kind of the general process of what I'm going through. And one might take more than the other. If the coding's taking longer and the debugging process is failing, if something's taking longer than the other, it all changes per ticket and per requirements. So coming up on 12 o'clock is generally where it's lunchtime, and I will go out with the team, wherever it might be that day. Generally, it's around food trucks. I won't do pizza though, I want to note that because I've learned that myself personally, super carb heavy lunches kill me in the afternoon. Now, I will say this though, sometimes my lunches I am fasting. So I won't always go out for food, but when I do fast, I will actually stay in and generally work on some emails and some other stuff to get done. But if I am going to eat, I will be going with my team because I find it's a great experience to build more relationships with them, deeper relationship connections, friendships, however you truly want to look at it. I just know at the end of the day, spending time with the team is a really good thing to do for everyone on the team, including myself. Now from about 1 o'clock to about 2:30 is when I take meetings. And I do this specifically not only because after eating, you slow down a little bit mentally because your body's trying to digest, but it's a great time for me to get out of the zone and then have some meetings around sprint planning, to have some meetings around maybe a knowledge transfer, to have some meetings maybe on some one-on-one. This 1 to 2:30 slot I found is a great time because when you're engaged with people, you can't slow down. Even if you had a bunch of carbs, it's really hard to actually slow down. But if you're sitting by yourself, really easy to just be like, sit here and not nap, but really just take it easy because of all the carbs you just ate. So when I structure my day that way, it prevents even if I have a carb heavy meal, which I try not to do. Now around 2:30 is when I try to get back in the workflow of actually working on some tickets and some functionality again. But I will also take the time here to do a lot of research and spikes for tomorrow. Well, spikes are research, but I'll leave it as research for those who aren't familiar with spikes. I try to spend around 2:30 to 4 around this research. And if I've done my research, I'm good to go. I will get back into coding it and back into the process of developing it, testing it, checking it, all the whole 9 yards here. But I've chosen this spot for research because what's really great about it is it'll help me prep for tomorrow's deep work block. I get a ton done in the deep work block and I really prioritize it very heavily. Now, I wish I could get more deep work blocks, but it just isn't how my life is able to do right now in a 2 to 3 hour window. It's very hard, and I feel fortunate to be able to get 1 to maybe 2 a day. But the second one might come just out of not having to have any meetings or not having to do any research. So it's not structured that way for a second one, but it happens. Ultimately, I found 2 to 3 as a great time for me to do the research and then go back to the tickets. Now around 4 o'clock, I do a stand-up with my team, and this is typical Agile. You go around in a circle, talk about what you're doing tomorrow, you have any blockers, need any help, things of that nature. The stand-up doesn't take 45 minutes. But once I get back to my desk, I'm trying to then finalize up everything for that day up until about 4:45, and I'm preparing for tomorrow. I'm doing the retro of my own day, trying to look back retrospectively what went well, what didn't go well, and then writing down the plan for tomorrow so I know if I'm going to stay on task with everything or if I need to change my schedule up to work a little bit extra or whatever it might be. And then I'm going to leave anywhere after that around 5-ish, try to get home by 6 to have dinner with the wife. I shoot for Freshly. Actually, meals, they're really, really good. Check it out. They're pre-made meals, and they're all extremely healthy. Really, really good. Especially if you want, when you hear the rest of my day, you're going to understand why I need a meal like that. Now, generally at that point after eating, I try to make sure I sit down, watch some TV with my wife, relax, like take the dog on a walk, and potentially even some days I will go play basketball to try to exercise and really keep the blood pumping. Especially, I know the workout was that morning, but it never hurts too much to get an extra run in because it will really help mentally. I've learned in the nights like this where I'm recording, it makes things go a lot smoother. You can still be cognitively there all day long. I do that up until around 9 o'clock. Now, when 9 o'clock hits, I generally start mentoring students at this time because most people have jobs or most people have families they want to stay with until they go to bed. So 9 o'clock works. I do 9 to 11 mentoring students at a multitude of different programs. That's generally the time I reserve for mentoring. And then from around 11 to 11:45, you'll catch me working on Coding Career Fastlane things, whether it's content, whether it's recordings, whether it's working with people or working on stuff for people in the Coding Career Fastlane process. And then around 11:45 or midnight, that's generally when I will start slowing down and doing my evening routine to go to bed ultimately, whether that consists of a couple different things like laying your clothes out, making sure you have a plan for tomorrow, or the third thing, potentially some meditation. I've learned that really helps to end the day, to really slow myself down and actually see what thoughts are coming through. It's actually a surreal experience. Really enjoy it. And that is, in summary, my schedule. And it's a bit much at times, but ultimately I found this helps me stay most consistent because of how I have it planned, because of the structured exercise, because of the structured deep work, because of the times I have in there to make sure I take a break with the team or take a break and come home and actually relax or go play basketball or strategically plan students at the end of the night. Whatever it might be, I found this is to help me stay most consistent. Do I do this every single day? I try to. Does it always work? No. But ultimately, if you feel like you want help accelerating your coding career around being a great software engineer and mastering your own schedule as a software engineer, I encourage you to reach out or check out down below the Coding Career Fastlane. It's a service I have built to help you accelerate your career wherever you're at in the process. Subscribe, like, I'd be greatly appreciated for that. If you have any questions, reach out down below or feel free to email me or find me on thecodingcareerfastlane.com. Until next time, I'll see you guys later.